Okay. Says we are live. Hopefully that is true. Hopefully we are good. Hello. Welcome. I got a hair somewhere on my face. Sorry. Anyway, hello. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Apologies for not being here on Monday. We it was very icy. And I wasn't sure what exactly the power was doing. So I did not do a stream. So as you probably noticed. But we are here. We still have some snow that has solidified into more ice in the yard. We didn't get much. It was not enough to cover the grass. It just partially cover the grass. But the roads and the steps and everything were very icy. We finally have all the ice melted off today, as of like mid-morning today, off of the steps. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, so the roads were navigable by yesterday afternoon. But still like patches of ice. So thankfully we escaped without too much. We still have some dead trees that are up in the back of the yard. So it's not like they didn't explode or anything. It didn't get that cold and that icy. So all good. Hopefully the rest of y'all also weathered the winter weather alert, storm, whatever, well. Hopefully y'all stayed warm and cozy and with power and internet and all that. I made my first quote unquote wearables. And I made hats with crochet. So the first one I did out of chenille yarn, and it's just like, it's so big and bulky, but it does fit my dad's big head. My dad and I have very large heads compared to standards. And then this is the second one that I made, and I think it turned out really nicely. And it does fit over my head. It does not fit my dad. So this one was my hat. This one will be my hat. And I will have to make a bigger one out of the regular yarn. But I think it turned out cute. So, yeah. So I made my first wearables. That was one of my goals for this quarter, was to make a wearable, and just something like finish it, not just start it. So I have this one, I have a chenille one, and then I started on one for Dad, which is a different color palette than this, but same yarn. So I've got the beginnings of it. So it'll be a nice different stripies. So I had fun with that. I also did set up my February in my bullet journal. Lovely, very cute. Thank you. I was pleased with it. The first one I did out of chenille, it was all the same stitch running up, and then you just had to bunch the top together, and it just made really bulky at the top. So I found another pattern that has, like, the last 5 stitches of each row are, instead of a half double crochet, they're either a slip stitch or a single crochet. So it makes it the top less bulky, and I like that a great deal. So yeah. But anyway, here's where I said hello. Kagehime says hi. Hello, welcome. Elizabeth is here and says hello. Hello. Rachel is here and says hi. Hello. They says we still don't have school. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Monday was canceled. I think Tuesday was also canceled. But UGA went back. Like their afternoon schedule was back on. I don't know. It was weird. Karma probably won't have any school this week. Monster's still up in the air. Gotcha. Rachel says, well, we hardly got any winter weather in eastern North Carolina. Probably good, but we apparently are the target of Mother Nature this coming weekend. Yeah. So, yeah, there was the second storm. I think we're only like at 65% chance of snow. Oh, now it's 70. Yeah, but it says 70%, but then when you see the chance of precipitation from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., it doesn't cross the 40% barrier. So I don't know how they calculate 70% out of less than 40%, but whatever. You brag too soon. Yeah, yeah. Stay says we are all safe and warm. Good. And there have been a few weather caused deaths in the area. Ooh. Yeah, I was looking up to see whether or not there had been any deaths, and there definitely were. And then one of the deaths that was related to the weather, but not. It was weird. There was a couple that got hit by a snowplow, and the wife passed away, and the husband was still in the hospital, at least at that point. And so I was like, okay, that's weather sort of related, but I don't. I don't. It's like, can you blame it on the weather? Sort of, because there wouldn't have been a snowplow out if there hadn't been the weather. But yeah, so it's like I don't know if I feel like some sort of way is like, I don't know if we can count that, but at the same time, we kind of can. I don't know. Diane says, afternoon, all. Afternoon. Hello. Welcome. You have no idea how the science works. Yeah. With the percentage chance of, yeah. We just plan for the worst and hope for the best. Yeah. But also, there are usually, so Bestie's birthday is usually the second week of February. And there's always a storm for her birthday, like always. Whether it's a tornado, it's a snowstorm, it's an ice storm, whatever. There's always a storm for her birthday. So and that's usually like the last big one for us, is her birthday storm. So we were joking about it over text, checking in on each other. And I was like, so do you think this is going to be your early birthday present, or are we going to do for another one? She's like, I feel like we're going to do for another one. So she's just got to have Mother Nature celebrate her birthday too. Diane says, spending today doing a mishmash of things, working on a course you're taking, packing and purging. You need to shovel the front walk here in a bit. Gotcha. Diane, Rachel's excited to see you. Have I seen the TikToks of frozen deer? No, I have not. Do I want to? By the sounds of your shudder, I don't think I want to. Diane also says, Rachel. Yeah, one death hit by a snowplow and one was exposure. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know there were several hypothermia casualties listed, but I think it was around 30. I think it was like 29 or 30 was the last number that I heard, that was attributed to the weather or due to weather stuff. Okay, so the frozen deer are creepy. Not sure if it's AI or not. Gotcha. I don't know. I feel like it would have to be multiple negatives Fahrenheit in order to fully freeze a deer. I feel like. So I don't know, but I've not seen it. So yeah. Anyway, what do we need to do? Oh, I need to show the thumbnail for today. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Our main character today is dealing with a fashionista. Which one? Isabella, always a princess. Anna, judging your main character behind sunglasses at all times. Or we have Max, experimental fashion designer. Which one is your main character dealing with? Princess Isabella, judgy Anna, or experimental Max? Diane says, yes, it was AI, but it was real enough looking for a what? Gotcha. So at first glance, it looked plausible. Okay, so those are our little mini fashionista icons for the day. And we need, oh no, where's my calendar? Oh, there it is. It got knocked down. We have more cats to do because I was not here on Monday. So, weekend, Monday, Tuesday, and today. Okay, so the weekend kitty. Happiness doesn't depend on outward conditions. It depends on inner conditions. Because the cat's indoors. I think. But it's a very cute void kitty. Then we have, when endeavoring to think outside the box, it is best not to involve cats, because the cats will want in the box, on the box, to play or bite with the box. Blech. Can't talk apparently today. And then we have Tuesdays. Oh my gosh, can these scritches go on forever? You can just hear the purr that cat would be making. And then we have the last kitty for today. I am your emotional support animal. I get emotional if you don't support my albacore tuna diet. Very cute. I love when the cats have like the markings here that look like the ears, because it looks like another pair of cat ears. It's cute. It is very cute. Stacy says, oops, I voted wrong. You voted on what kind of fashionista your main character would be. Ooh, that's still a fun, interesting answer. I like that, though. Then again, your main characters are not really dealing with fashionistas, so yeah. Makes sense. Scritches. Yes. Oh, and Diane did it wrong too. Oh, no. That's okay. If the poll gives you something to think about and an answer that helps you flesh out your characters a little bit more, that is perfectly fine and acceptable. All right, we pulled number 46, which is the peacock. Here's our peacock. There we go. Got the light shining from its chest. Let's see if it's going to refocus. Yay, it refocused. Okay, so let it shine. When is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are, for you are a manifestation of spirit. Come out from the shadows, the peacock says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force energy and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer, and dance in celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. The spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. So there you go. There is our card for the day. And kind of appropriate, I did sort of had a light washi tape. Lantern washi tape? Yes, lantern washi tape that I did for February. So here's my February cover. Tried to do a little sort of minimal illuminated letter F. And here's my calendar overview. And then I've got birthdays for this month. And then I have a bigger spread for my weeklies this time, a little bit more space. So I've got a space for like notes, then I've got a column for each day, and then a column for a weekly reflection wrap up. And I had these really pretty, pretty long sort of maximalism stickers. I had 3 of these. So I have 3 of the weeks have one of these sort of stickers. And I've got little fountains. Sorry, it's hard to see what I'm doing. So there's the second of the big sheets. And they're just pretty because they've got all kinds of lanterns and storks and flowers and stuff. I like them. Here's the 3rd week. This time we have chrysanthemum and goldfish and some umbrellas, parasols more likely. And then I had a couple of these left over, so that's what I put there. And then I've got my want analysis in my February wrap-up section. So that's my February, all ready to go and set up. Because I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, oh, I really don't have that many days left before February. I should probably think about what my February theme is going to be. Anyway, so I did that last night, and I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was a nice little creativity break that was not too high stakes. So it was pretty, and I like it. Pretty, so pretty. Yes. Stay says, I think the first sprint is going to be to get some food. Yes, please fuel yourself. And let's see. Also, what is everybody drinking today? I have a honey and citrus tea in my big mug. It has gone room temperature though. It is definitely not warm anymore. So that's one thing about I don't have one of the mug warmers. I've thought about it multiple times, but never have gotten one. Your first sprint is going to be getting prepared to go outside and shovel. Yes, all the layers, all the waterproofing, and all that. Stace says, I have soda right now, but I'll probably change to hot tea soon. Gotcha. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up a timer. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Is this one of the ones that has the text that jumps? No. Okay, let's do this one. We haven't done it in a while. Okay. We have a candle. Okay, first sprint. Let's do this. 1, save your document or pull up whatever document you think you're going to be working on. 2 is make sure you have that something to drink and to go ahead and take a sip if you haven't in a while. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back. That posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that was the first sprint. How did we do? Hopefully we did good. Um, 570. It's not a bad place to start. Okay. I think it's going well. I've got to change where I'm saving things. Because here we go. Microsoft just wants to like save it to the OneDrive, and then they want to charge you for paying for more space in your OneDrive, even though I have plenty of space on my computer itself. So I'm going through and saving things to my hard drives rather than to OneDrive. So it's going to take some time if I make sure that everything that I have is on the hard drives rather than in the cloud. But I get annoyed because OneDrive is like, oh, you've used like 4 of your 5 gigs that are free. Don't you want to pay for more? I'm like, no, I want to actually save it to my hard drive, which still has like 70 gigs of space more. I don't actually know how many gigs I have free. I should probably check that. Where are we? This PC. Okay, so I have 84 gigs on my solid state, and I have 437 gigs free on my D drive, my hard disk. So, space. I have plenty of space. I just don't want to pay Microsoft more than I already have paid them. So, that's the whole reason I don't have Microsoft 365. I still have my Microsoft Office 2019, I think, because it's a forever thing. I mean, they've stopped supporting it because they want you to go to the subscription model, but I don't want the subscription model. I want the stuff that I own and pay for to be owned and paid for. So, anyway, probably sound like a crotchety old lady when I say that kind of thing, but I just like I don't see a point in paying for something that I have space. I don't want OneDrive to be doing anything. So anyway, I'll hop off my little soapbox here. How did you do? Kagehime got 140. Nice. Great start. Fantastic. Stacy ate a sandwich. Ooh, what kind of sandwich? And switched to the computer. So good things. Yes. I thought about a sandwich this morning. Also thought about cereal. I wound up just having leftovers. We had tuna fish macaroni salad leftover. So that's what I had for my lunch. And then I had banana pudding because I made banana pudding the other night. And we still have some. So it's banana pudding. The pudding was better than the tuna mac leftovers. Rachel handled some emails and social media, and you're going through and rechecking the article and also the last chapter that you wrote. Nice. You do need to make your tea. You forgot. Oh, no. Elizabeth says, I finished a scene and you think it was pretty good. Yay. Excellent. When you get done and you're like, yeah, that went well. That's the best feeling. It's great. Say says, once I get a few things cleaned up, you're going to be putting your spare docs in an external hard drive where your music is and where you've been moving movies and TV there as well. Yeah. Yeah. It's always nice to have backup, especially on a disk that you can access even if the internet is out. So, Stace says, I had a ham and cheese sandwich. Very nice. Excellent. I've been thinking that I want to try another baking bread experiment and see if I can get a better loaf of bread than what I had before. I don't really want to do sourdough. I think I just want like, I don't know, normal bread, artisanal bread. I don't know. So, but I might. And plus, the winter time is better time to do it because that way the oven heats up the house while you're baking it, which is nice. Plops down on the chair after shoveling the snow. Yays! Jumps up with arms raised in the air. I'm still alive! Exactly. And good job on shoveling the snow. All right, let's... Oh, excuse me. Yes, I knew what you meant, but also ploups does sound kind of fun. So, okay. Second sprint is going to be our self-promo sprint. So if you have something that you would like to promote, remember to do so during the second sprint. And we're going to do the Silent Winter Morning for this second sprint. There we go. Hubby was going to pay someone. He knows that always motivates you. Gotcha. That is one thing that, yeah, if you can't stand paying somebody to do it, that does sort of motivate you to do it yourself. If you know that somebody else is going to spend that money on it. Plus, it got you outside and in some sunshine, right? So maybe it was a good thing. Okay, let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, I just sipped, but I'm going to sip again. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is, if you need a break, take a break. It's one straight line from the front porch to the road, and most of it is cement. So yes, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. 4 again is, if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That is the end of the second sprint. How did we do? I'm going to get my calculator out. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I got 673. Not bad. Not bad indeed. Monique has joined us as well. Hello, welcome. Let's see. Diane said, sorry, let me change it. Diane's hubby got Wordle in 2 tries. You know that you won't beat him today. But then Diane did it as well. So very nice job to both of you. Goodness. Let's see. Monique says, hey, hello, welcome. Sorry, I don't know why my throat is like all scratchy all of a sudden. Stacy says, now I'm impatiently waiting to find out if the kids have school tomorrow. They've been calling off between 2 and 3 so far this week. Gotcha. Okay, so they put the announcement forward. Funky, hello. How was your weekend weather? You're here, so obviously you survived. Was it a bad time? Was it fine? How did it do? Stacy says, hubby is home and tea is made, although it's too hot to drink at the moment. Gotcha. We don't want to burn our tongues. That's correct. Yeah, so the power was like, I wasn't sure if the internet and power was going to hold. It did, so I probably could have streamed, but I didn't want to like chance it. So we had a bunch of ice though. We had a bunch of ice. We still have some ice in the yard, and snow has turned over into ice because we got snow, then some rain, then some sleet and snow and ice, and yeah, it's just all messy. We got covered in ice, but thankfully we kept power. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, our house did pretty well in terms of like keeping the heat overnight, and I think Dad said because he's usually the first one up, that when he got up yesterday morning, it was the NPR said it was like 13 outside. And the house was, I think, 67, 68, somewhere in that range. So he baked some cinnamon rolls to get some heat and that kind of thing. So, yeah. Your fam and you survived the cold snap. Good. Power held and everything. Lovely. Love it. Good. Yes. Currently outlining John with the Undead. Fantastic. Good. Okay. And then also I need to remind us, if you have not yet voted in the poll, here are our fashionista options. We have Isabella the princess. We have Anna the silent judger. Our face isn't quite silent, but you know. And then we have Max the experimental fashionista. So which of these little fashionistas or characters that could be based on this concept would your main character be dealing with? That's the question. Stacy says, I've been dealing with migraines and sinus headaches because of the cold front. We ended up with over a foot of snow. Gotcha. They were predicting somewhere between 0 and 16 inches. They always do. And you got it. You got the over the 12. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I don't even know if we got a full inch. We definitely got ice. And parts of the ice were a little thick, but not anything too terrible. So, but our the snow that was on the house and then melting into the gutters was falling off of our gutter and then landing on. We have a redbud tree right outside the house, and so our redbud branch got all kinds of ice on it. So we'll have to see if that limb makes it or not. Ooh, so far Monique has 10 chapters outlined for Drama of the Undead. Nice. Funky is like, oh no, that's a lot of snow. Yes. But also, oh no to the migraines. You chose Isabella because Lena, the actress playing Christina, starts out being a diva. Nice. Stacey says, I think by the end it was at least 16. We do have things fully buried in the backyard. Gotcha. Yeah. It was fun watching our little dogs skate across the yard trying to come. No. Oh no. I have seen, and I think it's a brilliant tip if you live somewhere or you're expecting snow, to put out like a towel or a rug over where your dogs normally would use the bathroom if they're trained to use a specific part of the yard. So that when it comes time to let the dogs out, you just uncover that patch of grass that has the blanket or the towel or something. So that's an idea. I thought it was pretty smart, but I think it only really works if your pets are trained to use specific areas, maybe, or they hate the cold enough. I don't know. That's a good idea. Yeah, because I also saw people who were doing that. They like lined their walkway with like garbage bags and like weighted it down so then they could just peel off the snow essentially. What do you do with towel after they go on? No, so like, yeah, peeling it away to reveal the grass that's still there. So yeah. But you do have to make sure it's something that you either are going to throw away or that can be washed, because ultimately your pets are probably going to use the outside more than once a day. So yeah, it was funny watching the dogs outside. The first time his lead was buried in all the snow. Oh no! And then he couldn't get far out because his belly and other things were pushing the snow. Oh no! The dog was like, hop, hop. No! Cute. You watched a robot clear a driveway online. Worked pretty well. Oh, like one of the remote controlled? Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That is true. There are probably some like construction vehicle toys that are remote controlled that would do a really good job at clearing a driveway. It would at least be entertaining. It's like a snow Roomba. Nice. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and swap to another sprint. And do this one. Scroll it down a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Do. Okay, on to third sprint. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with and sip. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching. 4 is if you need a break, to refill your hydration, to blow your nose, to do a bio break, whatever it is, Your mailbox broke. Oh no! The top and sides were in the snow. The bottom was still attached to the pole. Don't know how it happened. Sent the kids out to get the mail before we realized it was broken. Yeah. And with how cold it's been, it's going to be um, a bit of a bear to repair and or dig a new hole if you have to dig a new hole, because that ground is going to be solid. Anyway, sorry. Let's do this. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That was our third sprint. How'd we do? Let's check. Okay, so I got 476 that time. Excuse me. Sorry. So a little less that time, but that's okay. Still progress. I'll take it. Okay, so Stacy, it took me like a minute to really realize what you were describing about your mailbox. I think my brain just wasn't clicking. So the top and the sides of the mailbox itself are off. The bottom is still attached to the pull. So you just essentially will have to unscrew the bottom plate that is there and then put on a new mailbox. So it's not as bad as digging a hole. So that's good. But he says, I kind of feel a bit stuck with your outline. Do you have D&D dice? Can you assign like really random things to different numbers and like roll the dice and see if that gets you somewhere? Or you can pull a tarot card and see what happens when you pull a tarot card, like what if there's an image or a color or a particular thing that like pops out at you. I love doing the tarot cards for story building because it's fun. So like if I pull, let's do this one. The Four of Swords. Okay, so Four of Swords, rest, meditation, renewal, solitude to gather thoughts, sanctuary, or self-protection. We have the lady who is sort of like at rest, contemplating, but also the swords around are creating sort of like a barrier, sort of like boundaries that nobody else can or should cross. So potentially you could also pull just like swords, like have they found a new sword? Do they need a new weapon? Do they need respite? A sort of respite? Do you need a break in the action? Or something like that. So again, pull a card, see what comes out and go from there. Feels like you're writing an episode of Columbo. You think you're going to go watch that show. Maybe that'll give you some inspiration. That's true. Diane says, starting to wonder if you should have sat down. Now you need to regather your oomph to get back up and get going again. Gotcha. Yeah, that is difficult. Do you have a reward or a treat in the kitchen that is away from wherever you have plopped yourself down in? Like mug of tea, mug of hot cocoa, something. Andy is here. Hello, welcome. Stay says tea is being consumed. Excellent. I finished off my honey citron tea. It's an herbal tea. It's not actually tea. It's just like honey and candied, concentrated honey and strips of the yuzu citron. So, is it yuzu or yuza? I think it might be yuza. I can't remember. Anyway, but you had to put some meat in warm water to help it draw out the cold. Excellent. I should probably pull something down from the from the freezer for tomorrow. So thank you. I will do that after the stream. That way I have tomorrow easier, right? Still no word from the schools. Ooh, okay. Cross my fingers for you. You're hoping the mailbox will be easy to replace, but hubby wants to get a metal or brick one, so there may be more work. Oh, okay. Post-wise, also the front door is missing. I don't think you will find it in one piece because it sounds like somebody hit it real hard. So yeah, but we have, when we moved into this location, the mailbox was the biggest mailbox I've ever seen. It's like somebody at this address definitely used to be a business, like run a business out of their home and would ship packages, because there's no other reason that somebody would get a massive, like it's like very, very honky big mailbox. So, but yeah, we had to replace our door as well, and a new post because it broke when somebody backed into it. So, yeah. Funky got work writing done, but more importantly, you brewed and obtained the coffee. Excellent. Yay! Elizabeth says, I just realized that a character who you thought was an ally is really an enemy. Ooh, the backstabbing your main character did not see coming. Excellent. Love it. Now I want to know who. Who done it? Who's the traitor? Rachel says, Burr. You clean the ice off of stuff out back and finish 2 chapters. Nice. You skipped the last break because you're on a roll. So Rachel says, hey to everybody again. Funky says, ice is no fun. Yeah. I went to go, Mom wanted to go to Publix yesterday after like mid-afternoon. And she needed to scrape off her windshield. And I was like, oh, I've got a scraper in my car. It was in the trunk of my car, which was covered in ice. So I had to use my key to break the ice so that I could get the trunk open to get the scraper. So yeah, I probably could have gone in from the back seat, but that would have involved crawling, and I didn't want to crawl. So let's see. Diane says a reward, no, but could go to the bookstore once done with tasks. I see. Yeah, that's a good reward. Funky says hunk the chicken for motivation. Diane says sadly he's packed away at the moment. Aw, but still, you can still mimic. This is blasphemy. Packed away. Oh no, Rachel's going to help out by honking the chicken for you. Yes, it's temporary. Funky cold Medina shall rise again. Excellent. Good. Okay, let's take a look at our poll. If you haven't answered the poll, make sure you do so. So at the moment, again, here are our options. We have your main character is going to be dealing with a fashionista. Who's it going to be? Isabella, always a princess. Anna, judging the main characters behind their sunglasses. Or Max, experimental fashion designer. Who's it going to be? And 1, 2, 3, it's Anna. Our main characters are 60% of our main characters are dealing with Anna, who is 100% judging our main character with those sunglasses. Like looking up and down, sideways, definitely judgy. And then we have a tie between Isabella Princess and Max Experimental Fashion Designer. So, Diane says, in the new house, will Sage and Honk to bring good spirits? Yes. Excellent. Stacy says, or is the main character judging others? Also an option. Maybe they're best friends with Anna, and Anna is allowing you to come along and learn the judging way. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. I am glad that we made it through the storm safe and sound and all of that. And hopefully I will see y'all on Friday for the tail end of January already. So I will see y'all on Friday. Don't forget to save. And I'm going to try and finish up a couple of my physical TBRs this week so that I can have a decent number for January. So yeah. All right. Thank you again, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.